Good morning. So we still have a little bit of lovely summer left here. So I invite you to join me as I warm up and drink a bit of coffee and hopefully play some cool stuff. Let's see here. Hopefully you guys can see and hear me. I don't do these outside quite as often as I'd like to, but I don't know, it's really atmospheric when you get to sit and just, enjoy your first moments out there in the sun with a guitar and with you guys. That's nice. So in case you're wondering, I've actually tuned down my guitar one step, or actually drop one step, so drop D basically. So I've just changed the lowest string so that this string is the same as the D string, and it's popular because you can do these power chords, right, with one finger. But more than that, I think it's also just cool to have that lower note. Even if you don't play power chords, just do it. It's cool. It creates a pretty cool contrast. So if you're like me and you love the key of D minor anyway, then it's a pretty cool idea too. Can you do Rage Against the Machine? No, I don't. Bro is cooking a banger. Awesome, man. Michael, how you doing? Awesome. So what I like to do is sometimes just grab a simple kind of metronome. Oh, it's a little bit wet here. And oh, dog. I love the banjo. You like my banjo? That's awesome. So I've been playing for about 30 years now, I think. It's crazy. More relevant question is, how many years left of playing do I have? But no one can answer that. That's a shame. It would be interesting to know. Play the forbidden riff. I don't know if you recognize that. My version of the forbidden riff doesn't even work with this tempo. Wow, so many kind words. Thank you, guys. It's always nice to start on one place, like a famous riff, and then go take it to another place. I love that. And a lot of times when I do these streams and YouTube decides to send a bunch of new people in, I'm of course very grateful. But I always get the question about playing famous songs, and it's a bit boring. But I stopped doing that like 20 years ago. I can use it as a springboard. So. But I don't really sit around and play famous songs. But we did it now, and I think it worked really well. Take one riff and then see where you can take it. That's interesting. We can do more of that. So what do I do for a living? I actually teach guitar for a living. My girl is happy to have you. Well, I hope so. You never know. But what more do we have? I play a mean kazoo. That sounds awesome. A mean kazoo. Never tried that. So in case you guys just joined, I'm tuned down to D. So my lowest string is the same as the D string. So that has a bunch of advantages. I can play power chords instead of playing like this. I do this. But more than that, I think it's interesting to just play the lowest note, the E, right? Which is now the D. And that's cool because it creates a different kind of feel, right? So if I do some standard, and then I do, it's a nice kind of vibe, and you don't really get that if you don't tune down. So I like that. Play some rock and roll oldies. I had to do that because I was down too. Yeah, I can imagine Avenged Sevenfold do this as well. Some people go even further. This is just drop D. But what you can do is you can tune your whole guitar down to like D, so D standard. And then you can even tune the low E string even more. So from like D to C. So maybe they do drop C, I don't know for sure. Chuck Berry. I can't do that. Michael Schenker. Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, he does a lot of these. I think it's like Kirk Hammett style pentatonics. He doesn't do these. I think that's more of a Like, maybe he does. Freebird, sorry, don't know that. So if you guys are also in D, if you want to tune down to drop D, then you can of course kind of match whatever you're doing down here with some pentatonics in D. So you could do that on the 10th fret, so something like this maybe. Why not? So play Enter Sandman in drop D. Oh, there we have it. I like it. Guitar Wannabe from Scotland. We're not that far away then. I'm in Stockholm, Sweden here, so could meet up and jam. So there's some Metallica for you. Sorry, don't know any Slayer, and I don't know any Children of Bottom either, but I think they do a lot of down tune stuff. To be honest with you, back in the days when I learned songs, that was decades ago, I never down tuned. It wasn't until like 10 years ago I started figuring out, hey, I can change the tune a little bit. So I never learned any like famous songs down tuning, and now you guys forced me to play Enter Sandman, and I did figure it out, but as you can tell, it's not the regular way. Maybe we can mix. So I mixed that in with some pentatonics, and I'd like to add that, you know, the flat 5 note, which is often called the blues note. but it's just one extra note. So if you can already play the pentatonic, you can probably do it. And it creates a huge difference. Just listen to this. I mean, that's pretty cool, whereas this is pretty standard. So which one would you rather listen to in like a metal context? I think it's awesome. Mr. West wants me to speak about Dorian after he says gay as F. Mr. West, you need to work on your social skills. But if someone else asks me, who knows? Big Steve. Dorian mode. You're helping out Wes there. He doesn't learn the hard way. It's not a good thing. But yeah, Dorian mode. We can do the same thing for Dorian. So if I'm in, like, I'm riffing in D now. I can just play my D minor pentatonic scale here on the 10th fret. And I can add one single note, and then I get the Dorian mode. So, or actually, that's not the Dorian mode, it's the Dorian sound. But we're not playing all the 7 notes of the Dorian mode, we're just playing that major 6, which is pretty much what defines the Dorian sound. So again, if we just play the pentatonic scale, it sounds like this. A little bit boring maybe, but if we add that note, it's a great note to add. So. Why don't we add the other note we spoke about, the flat 5 as well? We can mix those two and see how that works. Greetings from Indonesia. How are you doing? Superheim, thanks so much for the great words. So we can do Phrygian as well. So Phrygian is cool for riffing. So instead of just riffing like more like a, I don't know, pentatonic or more standard, you can compare with the Phrygian sound. That has like a more exotic and oriental feel. The problem with Phrygian is it's a little bit harder to just give you like the pentatonic scale and then just change one note. It's not as easy. You have to learn new shapes to play the Phrygian mode. So, Nirvana, on drop tuning. Kurt wouldn't do this, unfortunately. I guess he wouldn't do anything right now, but, you know. But Nirvana is a big favorite band of mine, just very inspirational. I don't know any Gojira, sorry. Smoke on the Water. Why not? Can never get enough of Smoke on Water. Let's do it a bit longer and try to see if we can find our way back into the riff up here. One more time. What happened? Do you still think it would be banned from guitar stores if you play it that way? It's almost not recognizable. That's the only Aerosmith song I know, but I can't remember. Oh. Oh yeah, that's how it was. Of course, I'm down tune. So if you're wondering why I'm laughing, it's because I've never played this in down tuning. I've never played it at all, to be honest, or in the last couple of years. But I don't know, Rat. Sorry. Play the solo. Oh, you just subbed. Thank you, James. Means the world. You guys are the best. Man, it's such a lovely session. So many good people here. Even Wes has turned to good manners. First he insulted me, but then he realized that, hey, if I insult people, I can't ask them for favors. Good. We're making progress in the stream. Did you know the first two notes of Diary? Oh, that's a cool song. No, I never learned it. Like dog, like Led Zeppelin. I think I've heard that. I can't know. I know, is that? No, that's a whole lot of love, maybe. You been fooling. Sorry, no one wanted to hear that, but I did it anyway. Oh, Pantera. I have to rearrange the fingering for drop D. Ah, it's too hard. There you have it, some Pantera for you. But I preferred it in drop D, didn't you? Oh, Tornado Salt. No, that's not Tornado Salt. No. Oh, there we have it. That's Tornado Salt. Something like that, right? Hey, vi kan dra igen lite. Ah, no. I don't know. Why do we start playing all these cover songs? We should do shredding. Ah, I can't even do that yet. ECDC, I don't know any. Oh. What's that? I don't know any. Is it? There you go. Awesome. Hey, Wes, you are forgiven and you are strong for apologizing. We should all get better at apologizing, including myself. Since you apologized now, you're more than welcome to ask questions, and you are the man. We all do mistakes, right? And you managed to apologize for it, so you're the best, Wes. So let's see here. Cool, so you're a teacher as well, Wes. What kind of teacher are you? I think we're gonna go back to drop D, right? That was fun. That's one thing I've learned, to be better at apologizing in life, you know. Don't you, I'm sure you can identify with the feeling of wanting other people to apologize to you. Then you should think, well, what do I have to apologize for? And you get better at apologizing, and you're going to get those apologies back, and you're going to feel much better, and people around you are going to feel much better. So I think we can all learn from that. Jason Becker, well, I should have warmed up a little bit more before attempting to do I don't know. But I actually started out this session doing just like D stuff in D, so. And then I realized, yeah, I really would like to have some more heaviness to that. So. Are you the do? I wish I were. Or maybe I wish I knew who that was. Sorry, Alice in Chains. Do, 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 no. No, I don't remember. It's been too long. I only know. I don't know why that one isn't banned from guitar stores. I guess it's considered too difficult or something. Master of Puppets in D. I wonder how that sounds. Actually, it doesn't sound that bad, does it? It doesn't even sound bad. You could barely hear the difference, could you? I'm in drop D, so this riff is wrong, but. It worked, I guess. So, yes, but Kakashi, I'm not sure this one is banned from guitar stores. Is it? I think it was mostly like, or even the, you know, I think that one, I don't know. Well, there you have it, Danny P. I don't remember much more than that. Oh, Yorisha, you started guitar about 3 months ago. Any advice on tapped harmonics and bending techniques? Wow, you're progressing fast then. I think my best advice for beginners is be sure to play stuff that you enjoy. So I'm happy you're asking about these advanced techniques, so no one is forcing you to, I don't know, do something like. I understand that you want to play other stuff, and do that, follow your heart. That's the most important thing, because most beginners, you know, they put the guitar down. That's why we have many more, you know, beginners than intermediate and pros, because people stop after a while. So you got to keep yourself kind of inspired, and that would be the number one thing. And the second thing, tapped harmonics, I don't do them a lot, so I do more of, you know, or maybe just but bending is important to get down, because I've seen a lot of beginners kind of fail at that and just bend with one finger, right? It's okay, but it doesn't work in all situations. You really need to help with other fingers. So even if you're just bending this note, you still want to position your other fingers so they can help push the string. It's a group activity. You have to support your local band. Just kidding. Oh, so Sweet Child of Mine is banned. Okay. I thought that was considered too difficult, but then I know. But it's a weird thing. That would only happen in guitar stores, where you actually tell the customers how to, you know, what to do in a non-polite way. So I guess that proves guitar stores still have a way to go. I never liked guitar stores here in Stockholm. As a kid, I always felt intimidated, and I was really interested in all these guitars. I wanted to try them because that would kind of affect my next guitar choice. But I was so intimidated by those guitar stores. They were really non-welcoming, and I could definitely feel the atmosphere of, hey, you're not gonna play anything advanced, you're not welcome. I mean, that's the most stupid way you could try to ever make customers, and just a non-relation building. It's just useless. So naturally, I was really turned off by that, and I think that in a way that did hinder my progress a little bit, because it took me like more than 10 or 15 years of playing before I understood the difference between like a Strat and the kind of Les Paul style guitar in tone, because I never felt comfortable enough to try that in guitar stores. So I didn't understand the difference until I actually bought the guitars when I was much older. And that's just silly, I think. Guitar stores should do a better job at, welcoming young people. And, that thing where you forbid your customers to play stuff, that's the most stupid thing I ever heard, If you have a beginner customer, let them play whatever they want so they can try those guitars, man. So, yeah. The first riff was actually, Desmond sub, thank you, Desmond. Lots of cool question here about sweeping as well. So this is the first thing I learned, and it's actually some old Russian melody. Back then, Russia didn't invade quite as many countries as they do today, but that's the first thing I learned on the acoustic guitar. And then much later, I guess maybe I learned some Metallica riffs. Yeah, sweeping. Many people probably don't even know what sweeping is. Sweeping is when you play lots of consecutive notes on different strings. So you play with like consecutive downstroke or upstroke depending on your direction. So instead of doing this, which is tricky, look at my right hand, we're gonna do, which is much easier. So that way I can play faster as well. And if I had to do that with standard picking, that would be insanely hard, right? So whenever you're sweeping, it's super important to not have your pick like, parallel to the strings or at a 90-degree angle to the body. That's wrong. You should angle your pick quite a bit. So instead of picking like that, you would angle it more like this. Can you see how I kind of turn the pick so that it's more parallel to the body? That kind of allows me to do. And you can practice that just by lightly touching your strings so that they don't ring out. You don't want this, right? You want, and you can practice just the sweeping motion and make sure you're not getting stuck like that. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Re-angle, that's the way to go. And once you're comfortable with the sweeping motion, then you can learn an arpeggio, like the C major arpeggio. And you can practice with that one. And if you want to learn it right now, it's 15 on the A string, and then on the next string it's 14, and then it's 12, and then it's 13, and then it's 12, and it's 15. So we get one more time from the A string: 15, 14, 12, 13, 12, 15. And you can practice that with a sweep motion. And that's going to take you a long time to develop. But once you have that, you can combine that with... And it gets interesting because you can add these bits of tension to your lead playing. And that's really, in my opinion, how you should use these fancy licks. You should try to play them with with a melody. So you throw them in as tension. So it's like you catch the listener's ear. But then if you continue forever, so if you don't stop at this, instead try to do. So if your audience doesn't only consist of guitarists, then your audience is going to get bored. So that's why I suggest use it as, what's the word, sparsely, right? Don't use it that often, just a little bit as a little bit of spice. There you have it in action, some sweeping. Sultans of Swing. Some kind of arpeggio pattern, I think, from there. Thank you, Chris. Oh, your hands don't want to cooperate. That's actually very common. If your hands don't want to cooperate, that probably means you're pushing them to do stuff they're not ready for. And I know that it's easy when I sit here and shred to think that, well, I have to try to play this the same way Chris does it. But that's actually a pretty bad idea, right? I've spent years not doing that, but doing, making sure every note is accurate, making sure I'm totally relaxed, making sure what I'm playing is clean, and spending a lot of time teaching my muscle memory how to behave. Because when I'm playing fast, I can't think anymore. It's my muscles that need to master this. That's why I can also speak when playing, because I don't really use my brain for that stuff. And that's important because at the higher tempos, you cannot use your brain. You have to rely on muscle memory. So if your fingers don't want to cooperate, you need to take it gentle with them. You need to give them a lot of time synchronizing. Do they want to cooperate if you play at this tempo? No? Well, then play even slower. Just focus on the problem finger. So maybe just doing, or maybe it's, and then eventually you can start piecing things together and start playing a scale. That takes a lot of time. John, cool question. Do I have any favorite guitarists? So the list is actually pretty long. I had a lot of inspirations in my early days, and still do, of course. I never took the time to learn a style. I just borrowed a few licks from different people, and I just wanted to piece together something that I could use as a springboard for my own ideas. So the guitarists, I was inspired by Marty Friedman a lot, Yngwie, Eric Johnson, Alan Holdsworth, Steve Morse, Blues Saraceno, and that's someone I'm still kind of inspired by, try to get his groove. But then, yeah, did I mention Alan Holdsworth? Maybe I did. I'm gonna move to traditional cable here. Using wireless here is not quite as reliable. Everybody from Shrapnel, like Tony McAlpine, what's his, yeah, I mean, all these guys like Vinnie Moore and Jason Becker and, you know, but I think in this order, the order I mentioned is probably where the inspiration comes from. Cool, so you've been practicing every day for 9 months. That's awesome, man. Keep it up, you're doing good. So I've been practicing for almost 30 years, so it's not fair to compare. It doesn't matter, because as long as you play to have fun, not only is that gonna give you the value you need from guitar playing, but you can also quite early start writing your own material. You can start playing in bands. You don't have to shred like I do. You know, after a year, you could easily start playing with other people, and yeah. So just keep it up, would be my message. Bloodstain, how to balance speed and melody? Good question. Cold coffee, I love it. So how do you balance speed and melody? So the idea here is, how do you get away from just doing, and then occasionally, maybe I should play some lick. You know, that doesn't really work. So you can usually tell when a guitarist has spent a lot of time working on their chops and then suddenly realize they need to bend a note as well. So my suggestion would be to do it the other way around. Always kind of revolve your practicing around melody, around tone, around some kind of musical lick or following a chord progression or something, and then work on your speed licks around that. So for example, maybe I want to do, well, what I just did there with the sweeping, right? Instead of just doing like that kind of thing, I could do, I have this bend as my goal, right? This is where I want to get to. Because that I can use in a song or in a solo, like a melody, like an overdub or something, you know, it's usable. So as soon as I master a little bit of sweeping, see if you can use that sweeping in a musical context. So instead of just doing, I'm going to practice reaching a target note. And I'm going to practice doing variations around that target note and around the sweep. And then it's easier to transition into something melodic, and I think that's a good way to achieve that balance between technique and tone and melody. Let's see what you guys are saying. Chris, you've been watching me for so long, and damn, you're amazing. Thank you so much, man. You guys are gonna make my best day in the world if you keep going like that. Yo, I used to listen to your songs on Spotify. Mittwoch was my favorite. Awesome. I don't think they're there anymore though, but you can still find them on this channel. You can find all my tracks. Or most of them. I think YouTube took one down as well. Damn. I used too aggressive video footage. They let it, you know, up for a couple of years, but then decided it wasn't good enough. Okay, are you ready? Oh, there's one solo you did and you can't find it anymore. Was it that famous Curious Coincidence solo? Which I did on Ultimate Guitar? No, I don't know, Stop Believing. I don't even know what that is. But it's a good idea to not stop believing. I can agree with that message. Cool question. Should you buy a multi-effect pedal or not? Well, I had many when starting out, and they were kind of crap compared to what you have today. I think there's this small pedal. What's it called? Like Tone X or something. It seems really promising. So I think it's a good way to start. These days I prefer analog, but I've done the whole journey through pod to Kemper to all that. But it's hard to beat a good tube amp. But it's also inconvenient, and I don't do any, traditional gigging now. If I were to do that, I don't know if I would bring my tube amp. I would probably use a digital solution. So yeah, use multi-effects is fine. Try it, and if it inspires you, it's good. Anything that inspires you to play is good. You don't have to care about what other people think. If you think that, hey, this is gonna make me wanna play a lot, then it's good. Ah, I'm amazing, JRNY. You are so kind, man. Thanks, man. Oh, show me your effects. I don't have any effects right now. This is what I use. Yamaha THR. It's just a little practice amp. Of course, it's a digital amp, but it's okay. It works. It has some cool sounds in it. You can dial in a more lead type of sound. Marcus, what's up? So, I mean, it works. Maybe add some more gain. It's not quite as chuggy. It's more of a liquid kind of sound. So, oh, this is super chuggy. So this is even more chuggy than the one I started out with. I mean, it's just a small practice amp. It's not going to sound amazing, but it's pretty decent for just jamming along. No, this, what I was using was a Yamaha THR. It's just a 10-watt practice amp. I mean, it's super basic. You can probably find this. I would assume you can buy it for less than $100 used. It's nothing fancy at all. And I think also the ones, I don't know what they're called, but the ones that are really popular, the Katana is probably better, but I've never tried it. But this is very good. I like it. Really cool sound, and you don't hear about them as much. You hear more about the Katana and maybe even like the Boss Cube, maybe. I don't know. I haven't been in the market for a long time. This is good enough for me, so I use it. Some Pantera song, I think. I don't know. It reminded me of something. But it's almost too bright, don't you think? I'm gonna turn the treble a little bit down. It's a little bit better, I think. Maybe some more bass. Oh, Black Star, yeah. Black Star is supposedly really good as well. I hear a lot about it. It's like the poor man's Mesa Boogie, I hear. I would love to have these amps. At least another practice amp I'd like to get at some point, but I probably have all the equipment I need. I mean, I have this practice amp, but I actually have a real Mesa Boogie Mark V, which I use for a lot of the more higher end stuff, which I upload here and to many other places. And I also have the Kemper, which I don't use as much anymore, but I used to play it a lot. So, you know, you can only motivate so many purchases. Especially the Mesa Boogie Mark V is extremely flexible and versatile. I'm still discovering, like on a daily basis, how to get new tones from it. So I don't even think I'm ready for another amp yet. Oh, King Fire has subscribed for me. You're the best, man. Thanks so much. Oh, your Black Star is pretty trash. I thought it was good. So sweep picking would typically be one note per string. If it's more than one note per string, you're gonna have to involve maybe some legato. So as you can see, I'm playing 1, 2, 3, or 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. That's how I can do that one consecutive motion, because I'm just playing one note per string. And then if I wanna throw in 2 notes per string, I'm playing 2 notes on the high string, then I do that with a hammer on and a pull off. So yeah, Roland Cube, I had one a very long time ago. It was pretty decent, but I think they've gotten better. It was really good at the clean stuff, but I mean, this was like, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago. I didn't like the distortion sounds, but my taste has evolved, and I think distortion has always been the challenge, or it is challenging digitally to recreate good distortion. Back in the days, I don't think they had the software for it, but these days it's pretty okay. You know, what I'm playing through now is decent, and it has to somewhat feel close to the real thing. Otherwise, you're not really practicing playing electric guitar. You're practicing playing a failed modulation. Or not modulation, like emulation or modeler. Cool, Barry, thanks for some feedback about those practice amps. Like I said, I haven't been in the market for quite a while, but those are the, you know, you often hear about Black Star. What's the other one? Katana. Isn't it Katana? The one people speak about as well? Yeah, Cube, exactly. How to practice sweep picking. Oh, so the speed, it's a lot about muscle memory, you know? Or, so for speed, it's important to understand that when you play when someone plays fast, they don't think about playing fast. They probably think about what's coming next, not what they're doing with their left hand or what they're doing with their fast fingers. And the reason they're not thinking about it is because it's impossible at the high tempos. So how the hell can you learn to play fast if you can't even think about what you're doing? Well, it's all in muscle memory. So you have to teach your muscles what to do at a slow tempo. That's the only way. Some would say it's a boring way, but others like to, you know, use this. Oops. I don't know if I like that. Just, I like to improvise around and not rely on strict patterns. Just teach my fingers what to do at a slow tempo. And it should be totally clean when you're practicing, because otherwise it's definitely not going to get cleaner when you're playing in front of an audience or when you're doing something more demanding. That stuff takes a lot of time, and you have to spend time at the slower tempos first. So that's an interesting question. What scale do I follow when sweep picking? Some people maybe wouldn't understand the question, but I actually do think of my arpeggios as belonging to scales or being diatonic to a key. So if I'm playing in something, let's say, keep doing the D thing since I'm in drop D now. And then I want to play some arpeggios. I'm going to play them in the key of D minor, diatonic. So even though I'm playing I was playing like the B flat major, I was playing the C minor, I was playing the, what's this? Oh, the D minor. All of them actually belong to the key of D minor. And that's good because it allows me to use more options, and it allows me to move between simpler shapes. So I don't have to go into these really tricky, you know, the crazier shapes. I can stick to easier ones and just move them around diatonically. This is a huge topic, and I actually have a whole course covering it, so it's hard for me to explain exactly how it's done in just a minute, but I actually think of the whole key, and then I visualize these arpeggio shapes within the key. King Fire, I'm from Stockholm, Sweden. I've just been teaching myself. Did you have a teacher or are you self-taught? So I'm mostly self-taught. I took 1 year of private lessons with a Swedish guy, Christian Niemann. He played in Therion, and he's a really crazy good guitarist, and that was very inspirational. And he showed me some like basic theory, like scales and modes, and also like introduction to some techniques. But after that, I did most of the work myself and just learning from the internet and from REH videos and a little bit of books and stuff like that. Yes, Sean, I do in-person guitar lessons. So you can just Google my name, Christopher Dahl, and you're gonna find out. Yeah, I also have pre-recorded courses. You can find all of that if you search for my name, Christopher Dahl. Especially like some of the theory topics, like how you use diatonic arpeggios. It's hard to explain in a live stream like this. I needed like a full-blown course to really lay out all the maps of the fretboard so you can clearly see how those arpeggio shapes fit into the scale diagram. And then also, of course, how you use them, because when you just know the notes where they are, it doesn't really sound like music. So it's like a whole world of difference between understanding where to put your fingers and actually making it sound cool. And that kind of takes a little bit of time to explain and go through. So the modes, that's just, you know, a matter of preference, which modes you like. But I think a lot of guitarists like the Lydian mode. So if I'm in, oh, this is D now. That was hard in D, but that's a kind of Lydian sound. And also Dorian, I use it all the time when doing like bluesy stuff. So like the Dorian sound, I'd say those are the biggest ones. But then like Phrygian, but more of like a Phrygian dominant thing. So it's not really a mode of the minor or the major scale. I would say that's what I use most, probably. Then you know, I've come to the point where I like to construct my own scales in my head, you know. So, and they might have really weird names, but I don't care about them. So. So those were a whole bunch of notes that, in fact, I can do all 12 notes and, you know, make it sound somewhat coherent, just because I'm not really thinking in terms of scales anymore. It's, that was a bit extreme, right? Typically, I would only choose like a few notes that are outside and then mix that with the strong sounding or inside notes. But you can also just go crazy if it's the right time, like I did there, and just throw it all on. So I've been playing for 40 years. No, 30. I'm getting confused. I got 10 years older just now. Yeah, so, and yes, I do sell guitar lessons. You can just search for my name and you're going to find them. Cool, guys. So we've been going on for an hour. Instead of tiring you with me just getting older by the minute, I'm going to cut it now, and hopefully we'll tune in again. And if you subscribe to the channel, you're going to get notified, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys again. This was an amazing session. Can't believe we got so many cool questions, so many good people here, and I think we even did a bit of self-healing and therapy. That's amazing. So thanks a lot for tuning in, and I really hope I'll be able to see you soon again. You guys are the best. I've been Christopher Dahl. You've been amazing. See ya. Cheers.